So coming to our fourth question, you worked with a lot of tools, I'm sure, during your time, your 20 years experience. What would you say is the tool most fitting your way of working? So this adoption part, this usability. Is there a favorite one?
Yeah, this is going to be a really lame answer, Victoria. So and I'm sorry, I apologize for it because it's not fancy. Sticky notes, and this is coming from someone who used to love big, widescreen touch interfaces where you could do cool workshops and do all this fun interactive stuff. And I started realizing, you know what? Like some people love that, but some people don't, and most people get sticky notes. And so I find when I'm doing my own consulting work or kind of brainstorming dashboards and what needs to go into it, sticky notes. And there's the everyone understands it. There's no real technical barrier to getting into that, and adoption requires as many people at the table as possible. So if you think of like a non-technical business person, well, if we're jumping into a tool that maybe they're not familiar with, we do risk some degree of disengagement. So I try to minimize the amount of tooling and keep it as low tech as possible. So sticky notes is for the win on that one.
But then at some point you're ready and you have your dashboard fixed and your numbers, and then you need some kind to get your data. Is there then a favorite one, or would you
So
say then it's not my part of work? Go for it and do the technical stuff.
yeah, it's exactly the latter, Victoria. I don't get into the development anymore because I don't see that's where the value's at.
You
And
you
and
see you see
yeah,
Kai smiling.
and the reason I say that is my skills and expertise don't lend themselves to being really good at development. Like there are a million better developers out there than me, and there are people that know the tools way better than me. So I'm not in a position to really comment on what one's better than the other. And I have my own preferences, but if I'm honest with myself, and I think this is the case with many organizations, the tooling preference tends to come down to price and less about features. So, and also the tools I end up working with, I can do whatever it needs to get done in any of the modern BI platforms these days. I don't see a major barrier to adoption with any of the tools, unless we're getting down to, okay, can I customize where the navigation bar is going to go on a dashboard? Yes, there's difference. It's nuance, but I'm not seeing tooling being a significant barrier to adoption. Just in terms of just pure technology features. Yeah, 10 years ago, yes. Now, last kind of 5 years, not really. So I'm also trying to be political, just not to, I don't want to pick a favorite. They all have their pros and cons. And for me, my expertise lies in everything that goes around development, what comes before it, and then what comes after it. And yeah, it's like you said, I tend not to get into the development side. I'll work with the teams to do that. Just what I will do is I'll get them up to the detailed wireframe point, interaction design. And then they've got a really, really good reference for what they need to build. And they'll go build that. And then I'll go help them launch it.
Okay,
Yeah, I think, but that's also what we also work out. It's not about tools. It's really about the methodology or the process or how to get there. And then in case you're working with the modern tools, and yeah, the larger associations are all working with one of those, I don't know, 5, 6, whatever, how many you count them, business intelligence in the modern space. And there you can get great results. You mentioned, okay, it's the price, and maybe it's also about, I don't know, the tradition or whatever you might call it within the ecosystem of the company. These are the 2 points. But if you have the right methodology, the right path going in this direction, then it's not really a big issue if you're dealing with tool A or B. It's more the methodology. That's also what we support 100%. Yeah, fantastic.
And Kai, I'd add to that as well as I can't remember actually the last time I was involved in a technology selection process. I was in the past, like ages ago, but in the last 5 years, I've never been asked to contribute to that, and that might speak to the maturity of these organizations. That okay, look, the decision's probably happening with the CIO, and where I find I have the biggest impact is not always within IT. It tends to be in the business where, especially maturing analytics organizations, where the technology choice has been made, for better or for worse. But it's been a long time since I was involved in picking a certain platform.